Alright, now I got my faithful Suzuki Madura 1200. The rear monoshock is starting to sag a little bit, getting a little bouncy, and we've been bottoming out when I've got my wife on the bike. So I decided to replace it. There's my replacement shock right there from a ST 1100. Should go in without too much hassle. As per expert advice, I got the setting on the lowest setting. So let's get this done. First thing I'm going to do is kick off my seats and my saddlebags and the side covers. Now I can take a look in here, and in keeping with the Suzuki Madura nature, everything is nice and easy to access. Just go right in there and access that nut. And I got the bolt on the other side, and that should be the top mount for the shock. So probably don't have to take away too much. Maybe I have to relocate this thing a little bit, but first I'm going to try and just sneak a socket on in there. Top bolt's out without too much trouble. And now we take out the bottom one. So it turns out that I need to remove the rear wheel in order to get this out, so I'm going to take 5 minutes and do that. And I'm also going to link up right now to my video on how to remove a rear wheel on this motorcycle. Alright, so the rear shock is almost out. Last thing I got to do is remove this little adjuster thing. This is sort of a handheld pressure adjuster for the rear shock. So I'm just going to unbolt that and slide it on out because I won't be needing it anymore. Here's my before and after. Gonna look pretty slick. One thing I gotta do before I put this this new shock in is I have to transplant the bushings. I gotta take them out of here. Just sort of press them out. Put them into here. So this is the way it's done. This is how you press out a bushing. Right? You got big socket, little socket. Little socket is the same size as the bushing, so it will actually go into the case. Big socket sort of receives the bushing, and little socket. Put them all in your vise and squeeze them through. Couldn't have been easier. To get the old ones out, first there's this little rubber dust boot that needs to be pried out. Then a little gold colored C-clip. Then you gotta do that on both sides, and then you can squeeze it out. Home stretch now. Got the top bolt in, which took 3 hands. And yeah, just gotta bolt up this bottom one and then reassemble everything. So we just went on a little ride here. It's definitely a different suspension for sure. A lot stiffer, a lot sportier. A lot better in my opinion than my mushy old rear suspension. Speed bumps are definitely a different thing. This is not a modification for old farts with arthritic parts. But yeah, I dig it. So it's good enough for me.